What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's midday market recap. My name is Brad, and this is the Own the Chaos. I hate live streams sometimes where I can't just go back and re-say something. But anyway, this is Own the Chaos. Welcome to my midday market recap. And what I do every day is go over what's moving within the OTC penny stock world. So if you're new to this channel, welcome. This is really the only OTC focused penny stock channel on YouTube. So if you're interested in how the OTC works, interested in the extreme volatility that the OTC can offer you, that can be very lucrative, and what to watch out for so that you don't get burned all the time, then this is the channel for you. So welcome, guys. If you're looking to subscribe, hopefully I earn your subscription by the end of this video, and a like and a thumbs up for what we're talking about today. Lots of interesting stuff going on in the OTC today. We'll talk about what's moving, what's hot. Overall, it's pretty slow, but there's some interesting things to note to maybe place a longer term position on, looking to build things. And it's kind of what was the theme of my morning mentorship this morning. So if you're interested in that, the links are in the description. And just kind of, if you're looking to step up your trading game within the OTC penny stock world, I do offer that morning mentorship for you folks. So Billy Beane, if you guys aren't familiar with him, he was, basically the star of, well, I wouldn't say the star, but he was the premise behind the famous movie Moneyball. He was a former Oakland Athletics baseball GM, and which, when I first saw that this morning, it was crazy. So LFAP appointed him as one of the board of directors for their new LGBTQ, I said that all kinds of wrong, LGBTQ ETF that they just announced back in early February. It has since gone from sub-penny up over 20 cents. It's kind of hovering around right now. Had some really good reaction to that news this morning, and we're just kind of like hovering to see where it might go. But I think that long-term that this stock could have a lot of pretty good value, and I'll explain why coming up. A couple of other ones that are moving, but before I go ahead and share my screen with you all, as I always do, I'll welcome Blade Runner and Jesse, and we'll wait for a couple of other folks to move in. But yeah, Jesse, LFAP didn't do what I thought it would do either. It was kind of, I was expecting a much stronger move, but maybe it's going to take some time for people to really kind of react to what's going on here. And so I think it's a really big deal. I mean, Billy Beane is a really, really high profile guy. Still very much involved in baseball in the front office of just Major League Baseball. So he's not working for the Oakland Athletics anymore, but he actually is part of baseball operations for the MLB. So he's no longer part of a team, but he's part of the entire MLB. So I'll go and break that down. They actually came out with an 8K right before I went live, just to kind of reconfirm all of that. And so we'll go ahead and break that down. So if you guys aren't familiar with the platform that I use to do a lot of my own due diligence and technical analysis, let me introduce you to WeTrade HQ. So WeTrade HQ is a free platform where I go and do a lot of my charting through my through our TradingView charts that we have integrated within our site. We can talk with our friends about our favorite tickers. And right now I'm looking at LFAP and seeing how this has been moving. So a little bit of a struggle here. So I had a nice little run up at the open, and has kind of like settled back down a little bit. Again, to Jesse's point, I'm not exactly all that thrilled with the way the reaction has been so far. A little bit of selling towards the middle of the day here. We'll see how the reaction goes throughout the rest of the day. But they came out with news this morning basically disclosing that former Major League Baseball player Billy Beane to serve on board of directors. Now, if you guys have been following LFAP recently, they also had appointed former Congressman Barney Frank to their board of directors as well. And then they came out with an 8K. I'll go ahead and show that to you as well just in a second. But just to kind of recap the news that came out this morning, they basically went over who Billy Beane was, how much of a high profile guy he is, and the fact that he's part of a over-the-counter stock that is an LGBTQ loyalty ETF, which is the only one of its kind. I think that there's a long-term goal here. And so when we were talking about this in my morning mentorship, I told people, I share with people how I find success every day. And one of those things is just building your account. So building your trading account around a good core group of stocks that you see good long-term potential in. And so while LFAP may not have had the reaction that we were hoping for today, I think further down the road, looking at something like LFAP, that there is definitely value to be had here long-term. So building your account around some good core stocks that you see long-term potential in, and then making sure that you're staying liquid for the shorter-term potential, type of plays. It kind of really is the key, especially as you start to grow your account out. Now, if you have a super tiny account, obviously these longer-term plays probably won't be for you. But, I honestly think that LFAP is one of those ones where you could really kind of like grow a core group of stocks around. So like this is a long-term potential. It seems like they're doing everything the right way, and they're bringing in some pretty heavy hitters. They came out with an 8K, like I said, just before I went live. It's not here on, I don't see it here on the OTC markets. Let me refresh this real quick. I saw it pop up on equity feed. Yeah, it's not up on OTC markets yet, which is odd. But it was up on equity feed. So if you're not familiar with how I do the things here, equity feed is one of the scan tools that I use. So we can go ahead and pull it up here. And basically they announced on March 8th that they were going to, that they appointed Barney Frank, Billy Bean to the vacant director positions. And so they're also offering them commissions, 20% commissions to the related to the LGBT loyalty sponsorship programs. So again, I think that there's long-term value to be had with LFAP. Was the reaction to today's news what we were expecting? No. But I think that there's definitely long-term potential here as they look to grow and build the reputation that they're aiming for on something like LFAP. Looking at their level 2, they don't seem to be diluting too heavily. They were there for a little bit. It seemed as if they had some endless shares to give up, but it looks like dilution has lightened up quite a bit. We'll see where this goes from here. But LFAP, again, like I said, looks like to be one of those ones that could be a longer-term hold to try to build a core group of, longer-term stocks around while you continue to stay liquid and trade those shorter-term type of plays. So there's LFAP. A couple of other ones to note. GRSO, monster move today. Wasn't one that I got in just because of, how quickly this thing moved and the volatility that it experienced. But they did announce a reverse merger that came through. Let's see here. Should have had that pulled up for you guys. Sorry about that. So here we go. So they came out with like a reverse merger, announced a reverse merger through an 8K. And, here's the thing. People are asking me already, is this done? Is this done? Really, it's anybody's guess as to whether or not this run is done and over with. When it gets this volatile, and I'll pull up the chat here, see what you guys are talking about. When it gets this volatile, it is one of those things where you could try to make as much of an educated guess as you can, but it's really up to whoever bought into this right here at market open, right? So there hasn't been much selling, so it looks like a lot of people that bought here at market open are still holding pretty well. Looking at this 5-minute chart, it looks like there's a support starting to develop around 022, 023, 0223, somewhere around there. But really, this is a 5-minute chart, guys. If you're looking to make a day trade on this after it's already ran 200-300%, I would say to express some extreme caution, and I wouldn't be, throwing all of your money at it for sure. While the news is good, I don't know if it was good enough to really get into it after it's already ran as much as it has. If you didn't get in this morning, for me personally, something that I would probably stay away from. But if you're already in it and you're seeing opportunities to maybe add on dips or something like that, then perhaps this 2-2 range could be good for you. Maybe if you want to make a quick flip, 2-2 could be good if it holds that support level. If it doesn't, you could be in for a world of hurt given the extreme volatility that it's already experienced today. So there's my take on GRSO. And so another one that we talked about within our morning mentorship was DECN. Came out with some really great news. Had 2 articles of news that came out this morning, and really made a nice little move into the open, and still up pretty good. Looking at equity feed right now. It's up 40%. So nice little move on DECN. And really it was kind of a delayed reaction. So there's plenty of opportunities to get into DECN early and still come out with some pretty good profits. But they came out with news on OTC markets, 2 of them. So they had a news with DECN with packed with Alpha Capital. This was a DECN was one that moved earlier in the week, several 100%. And it looks like they're still coming out with stuff to continue to get this ball rolling. So lots of good stuff here going on. The Alpha Capital news that came out basically has to deal with diabetes and their research and development firm. The other news that came out today was about their CBD pet stuff. So looking at here, this is what got me this morning. I was still trying to announce this this here. I think we eventually came down to Gen Ultimate is how you pronounce that. Gen Ultimate for Pets Advantage Meter. So I'm sorry, it's not CBD. It's still yeah, it's part of the news that came out earlier with the diabetes stuff. Decision Diagnostics Corp is a 17-year-old diabetes-focused biotechnology R&D firm, a manufacturer, quality plan administrator, FDA-registered medical device customer support organization, and exclusive worldwide sales, regulatory process agent, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, good news for DECN. And obviously, the market reacted quite well. It's up 40%. We'll see where this continues. Looking at the chart recently, let me refresh this real quick on WeTradeHQ.com. I like to look at the 30-minute chart first just to kind of see where it goes. You can see that this has just been nothing but running all week. And now that they've come out with even more news, it's looking quite good. Looking at the 5-minute chart, you can see that it's starting to settle around this 8, 9 cent range. We'll see if this starts to consolidate a little bit more. Break out the Bollinger Bands real quick just to see how that's squeezing down. You can see that it's starting to a little bit on the 5-minute. If I were to try to get into this, this is another one that's been so extremely volatile. Even if you try to identify a support, it could break very easily. So just express caution with this. This has ran a ton, you know, well down below 0.19 and now is approaching 10 cents. So your guess is as good as mine, really. It has a nice little stair-stepper pattern. It's starting to develop on a 5-minute chart. But if this starts to consolidate a little bit more and really kind of confirm a good support level at this 8 or 9 cent range, then maybe you could make a case for making an entry there. But if you didn't get down here on these lower levels, I would say probably might be one of those missed opportunities for DECN. Nevertheless, it was a nice little play this morning for people who got in early, and you know, can't be too upset about 40%. So that is it, guys. All over, it's been pretty slow in the market, but there's a couple of gems out there. I thought that the Billy Bean news was really good, especially looking for forward-looking on LFAP. I'm a huge baseball fan, so as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. He's a really big deal, as well as the Barney Frank. Barney Frank's been on CNBC. He's a former congressman, so LFAP seems to be doing things the right way. We'll see if this continues and see if the value continues to be added to this particular stock. It's kind of a unique stock and what they're looking to build. You know, bringing these bigger players into something that's an OTC, it's something you don't see every day. So again, like I said, I think there's a lot of value to be had there for a longer term potential, and we'll just kind of see where it goes from here. So that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're interested in learning and growing and celebrating each other's success on a free platform where people can really kind of lift you up and help you become a better trader, then WeTradeHQ is going to be the place for you. We have a free group. The links are down in the description. We have almost 4,000 members around the globe in our community, and it's just really tight-knit, and it's really kind of gives you that family-like atmosphere. So the links are in the description if you're interested in joining that. And we have our Discord group. We have that platform that I was showing you right earlier with the trading view charts and plenty of other free tools that are there for you at your disposal. So go check those out. And that is it for me, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I will see you all before the bell, and B Smith is out. Have a good one, guys.